Hey, it's Tina Forsyth here. So let's talk about the ups and downs of working together. In particular, when we are starting to work with a new client, if you're a service provider, or if you're someone hiring or bringing on team, having people join the business to help you in different ways. You might be on either side of that coin. You might be on both sides of that coin from time to time. I'm seeing I've had a few conversations lately around this idea of I didn't expect it to be a struggle, or I didn't expect it to be hard, or I didn't expect that there was going to be some ups and downs when I started working with this person. And truthfully, really one of the most important things we need to embrace in this big wide world of business and clients and team and working together is it's always going to have ups and downs. There's no such thing as connecting with somebody and having it be smooth sailing and perfect and all kinds of things right off the bat, right? But here's the thing. We put these expectations on ourselves. A lot of us put these expectations on ourselves, like I need to show up and be perfect when a client has hired me to do something. And if I'm not, if there are ups and downs or challenges going on, then that means I'm not being perfect or I'm not doing a good job. We put those expectations on ourselves. We likewise will put those expectations on the people we're hiring, on team members or vendors, partners that we bring in to help us in different ways. We can look at them and think, I'm expecting a certain level of something from them, right? And then when it's not perfect, when we inevitably come into the ups and downs, then it can feel like a failure. Here's the piece I want you to really land on. There's a couple of key things that I want to bring to the table here today. And the first one is expect the fact that there will be ups and downs. I actually, I had this conversation with somebody just yesterday where we were talking about this. And one of the things that came out of my mouth was, when you do have ups and downs with a client, so this is someone who had just finished her first 90 days with a business owner that she was working with as a certified OBM, had just finished her first 90 days, and her client, they had a conversation that it was sort of like, even though we had ups and downs in the first 90 days, we are going to continue to work together. And my response was, I love that you had ups and downs in the first 90 days. It's that concept of, if I break my arm, when the bone heals here where I broke it, that bone is actually stronger now, right? It was broken and then it repaired. The bone is actually stronger now. Our relationships become stronger when we weather the ups and downs together. Ooh, that rhymed. I sound like Dr. Seuss. So as we're coming into these partnerships, these relationships, these agreements with each other, again, whether you're the service provider working for a client, or you're the client hiring the service provider, from either side of the coin, to really be able to acknowledge and say, all right, I know there's going to be some ups and downs. I know it's not going to be perfect right off the bat. I know that there's going to be maybe some miscommunication or misunderstanding or mistakes or whatever that might be. That is flat out just the way it's going to happen. And what I see happen is if we don't embrace this piece up front, right? If we're not willing to embrace the fact that yes, there will be ups and downs, what I will see happen often is this vicious cycle. Say you're hiring somebody, you're bringing them on board. This person is not perfect, right? Or they're not exactly what I thought they would be or what I thought they would bring to the table. So I'm going to go find somebody else. Okay, I found someone else. Something else pops up again. Okay, I'm going to go find someone else again. It can become this vicious cycle, right? Of like trying to find someone. And not to say that there's certainly things to consider in the hiring process and are they the right fit and so on. Absolutely. There's legitimate things that may be that may come into play. But I would much rather, when you've gone through the effort of working to find and hire and bring someone on board, I would much rather see you spend some time in looking to see, can we work this out? Can we weather these ups and downs? Can we work through this together? Versus having to go back to the drawing board all the time, right? And likewise, as a service provider, I'll see people plug in to work with a client. Challenges come up, things come up that are, tough and they didn't expect or they wish weren't happening or whatever it was with the client. And then they're feeling like, oh, I can't work with this person. I got to go find someone else now. Again, this same vicious cycle. This isn't good. It's not a fit. I'm going to go find another client. This isn't the right one, et cetera, et cetera. Again, they may not be a fit. That may be full on legit too, right? But the curiosity piece is really like, is there a way to make this work, right? And when we can embrace the fact that there will be ups and downs, then we can approach these situations from that perspective of, let's see how we can make this work, right? Let's weather some ups and downs together and see what can happen. The second piece I want to share with you, which really is so important here, expect ownership and not perfection. If we expect perfection from ourselves, right, we're always going to fail. We're always going to fail. It's an inachievable goal, or unachievable, whatever the right word is there, right? We actually cannot achieve perfection. So we put that on ourselves again too. Or if we're expecting perfection from our team, that they're not going to make mistakes, or they're never going to mess up, or they're always going to do it right. They're always going to be this exact perfect version of what we want them to be. Again, they're always going to let us down because we're expecting something that isn't actually true. Expect ownership. Ownership means that, oh, hey, this happened. Like, let's say a mistake happened. Oh, a mistake happened. Here's what I'm going to do to fix it and take care of it. Here's what I'm going to do so it doesn't happen again. That's ownership. I do not want perfection from my team. Believe me, I've spent enough years trying to be perfect myself, right? Like trying to be a perfectionist. It's exhausting. It's just all kinds of things are not good about that. And I've learned, because I've learned through my own journey over the years with my team, it's like, I don't want perfection from my team. We are all human. We all mess up. I mess up, they mess up, we all mess up, right? But I do expect ownership. So like if something was missed, or if something was, oh, I didn't know that yet, I want to expect ownership of, okay, go get to learn that. Get to learn that piece of the business, or dive in, own it in some fashion. So a subtle difference in some ways, right? But it can make all the difference in the world, is really asking yourself that question too of, am I expecting perfection here? Because if you're expecting perfection, it's just always going to cause problems. Am I expecting it of myself? Am I expecting it of my clients? Am I expecting it of my team? And how can I shift that into expecting ownership instead? And so a couple of tips today to just, talk a bit deeper about this weathering the storm, weathering the ups and downs journey together. And again, it is a good thing when we weather these ups and downs together. Believe me, that's part of what leads to building a really strong, solid relationship in the long run. I would much rather work with somebody where we've weathered those things together than maybe work with somebody where we haven't, because then the first big wind might come along and knock the whole relationship off track, right? When we've been through the dirt together, whatever you want to call it, then we know that we've built something stronger in our work together. So food for thought, everybody. Would love to hear any thoughts or comments or experiences you have with this as well too. Go ahead and pop a comment with this video. Until next time, take care. Bye now.